Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures.
Brings us to OCR in Antarctica. So, when did you first hear about this? What was the whole process like into going to this event?
Well, I heard about it a long time ago. I have a folder on my computer that says Antarctica 2023. So I knew about it then. Um, this event's been delayed several years. The guy who kind of conceived the idea, Dave Pickles, who's British, he's the one that had the world's highest OCR on Kilimanjaro and then later on Mount Everest, which I did in 2022.
Oh,
So I'd taken part in that event. I knew him. I'd been to Peru earlier in the year with him as well, and did some research on acute mountain sickness as part of my job. So I knew Dave, and Dave had this idea, and he'd spent a long time developing it and setting up the network to make it happen. It's very logistically difficult to have an obstacle course race on Antarctica, especially at this location, which is quite deep into the continent.
I can't imagine why. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but then, they actually kind of sold it to somebody else. So some other people, World's Iconic Events, now own that event. And Dave's doing other kind of exhibitions and stuff instead. So it got delayed, partly for that reason and other reasons. There's a few Americans that were planning on doing it, and I saw them earlier in the year. But that didn't necessarily come to fruition either. So it was difficult to get enough participants. But there are also participants who are in Antarctica who were going to be taking part, not just people going for the event. But it was difficult to make it happen because of that, the financial, I guess, cost of it.
Right.
But yeah, World's Iconic Events put it on in partnership with a company called Antarctica Logistics and Expeditions, who own the camp area. And so it's been planning to be happening for a long time. And Donna and Dan, who are participating as well, who've done lots of Spartan races, Go Years and everything, who I've done some other events with around the world. They've been waiting for years. They put their deposit down or whatever a couple of years ago, and they've been waiting for it to happen. So they were so pleased. But I knew about it again, probably just about more than a year before that it happened, maybe the summer of 2024. I saw it advertised and I was like, oh yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? I would love to do that. Can't do that. It's obviously going to be too expensive. And then, 6 months or so goes by, and then Huel, which is, yes, well done, you're featuring it, which is probably new to the US, but very well established in the UK. It's sort of like an everyday nutrition company, for busy people with normal lives who want to do stuff, different foods and drinks to keep you going. They were looking for a new campaign. So they were advertising something called the Limit Seeker Fund, which was a big chunk of money for people to go and seek their limits, do things, do world firsts and things like that. That sounded extreme to help sponsor them to those things. So I applied to it with this suggestion and a few other kind of things linked in. And I was successful at securing the sponsorship. That's helped me get there. So after that happened, which was sort of maybe like May, I think I applied in like April, found out in like May, and I told the world in like August. That's when it started really happening, and it was in December.
Yeah. So a few things to break down there. I'm glad that you mentioned that the original event was supposed to be in like 2023 because my role in OCR has switched to the media side for since
Mm.
2017, and it's been on my list for a long time. And then when I saw it pop up again, it's like, oh, we're finally doing it. I'm like, oh, it's actually happening. So that's another reason why I reached out too. I'm like, I swore this happened before, but no, it got canceled again.
Yeah.
So, and then going to Huel too, I went to ask you about the Huel Limit Seekers. I saw that there was only 10 of you picked. So how did it feel to be selected?
Yeah, I was really surprised. I thought it was quite an exciting thing, but it's also a race that other people can enter. So I wasn't sure whether that would fit. But no one else from the UK was going. There's only a handful of us anyway, and it's still the first ever. Um, yeah, and I had some sports science things, and I raised some money for a charity called Women's Aid, which prevents domestic abuse in the UK. So there was lots of different angles to it. So I was pretty excited to be selected, and then I thought, oh my God, now I have to tell people that I'm going to do this because previously, when I did the obstacle course race and the Guinness World Record on Mount Everest,
Yeah.
I didn't tell anyone apart from like literally my partner and my family, I didn't even tell my friends in OCR that I was going until 2 weeks before. And I'd been planning this for like a year because I did an experiment. I got ethical approval. I recruited participants. I took equipment. We were doing like ultrasound on the eye and all this stuff. So I'd been planning it for a long time, but I didn't tell anyone or the internet until maybe, yeah, like 10 days, 2 weeks before. So it actually felt more scary for me to be like, I'm going to do this
Right.
in a few months
It makes it
and
real.
then hopefully it happens.
Yeah. So a little background too. I first found out about Huel because there's my favorite podcast I listen to, which is like a video game podcast, whatever. They were sponsored by Huel by I think just like 1 week. Like
Oh,
I heard about it and I'm like, that's something that life is busy. Like, and this is, I guess it
mhm.
sounds like an ad, but I honestly do enjoy it because
Yeah.
um, I'm working with a nutritionist. I'm trying to lose a lot of weight since my back issue.
Mm.
And it's really helped with like fiber and everything too. So I just
Yeah.
thought that it was a small company, whatever. And then I go to the UK for World's Toughest Mudder, and I see a vending machine with like a
Yes. In
big
the
bottle.
airport.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there and some other places I was too. I think it was like the train station with
Yeah.
like a Huel bottle on it, and I'm like, oh, they have
Yeah.
their own vending machines. And then
Yeah.
I started seeing bottles for sale in like various convenience stores that I went to too, which
Yeah.
was great because like we're always on the move. It was tough to like eat as we were
Yeah,
going everywhere we're
exactly.
going,
That's what they go for.
and
Yeah.
it was awesome. So I thought that was really cool, and yeah, I hope it makes a bigger push to the United States as well.
Yeah. Well, there's, a couple of very well-known people who are sponsored by them, and they're essentially trying to be the healthy version of Red Bull.